Hey friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stampin'. We are using the Rabbit Hole Designs brand new Spooky Sightings stamp set today. And we are going to use the Cottontail embossing powder tool to cover this entire piece of black cardstock that I already have put in my Misty. And we are going to stamp this cute little flower spiderweb image in two corners of this cardstock. And we're going to heat emboss it with white oh my good lord, white powder, embossing powder, like I just did right there. And then we're going to flip it over and do the other corner. Now, this image is adorable. I think it's so cute. And we're going to do a really fun card with this. And we're talking about how to color on solid cardstock today. So I'm going to give you a couple of different ideas and we're going to talk about it. Sorry about my head getting in the video there, but you know, sometimes that's just required. So if you don't know how to heat set or use a heat embossing tool, I think I have a video on just that. But basically you ink and Versamark ink after using your powder tool, then you cover it in embossing powder and then you heat set it with a heat tool. The embossing powder I'm using today is from Hero Arts, and it's getting a little low. I noticed the other day that I've had this for a bazillion years and it's finally starting to get a little bit low. So I probably need to restock. So once I get everything on there, I just take a little paintbrush and remove any excess powder in any areas I don't want it. And I heat set everything. And now we're going to use these watercolors that were gifted to me by Marianne from the Rabbit Hole Designs. Thank you, Marianne. And from, I believe her name is Jeannie, that owns LUVLY watercolors, which is what these are. So in the instructions for these watercolors, you just take a dot of water and set it on top and leave it for like 3 minutes to let everything loosen up. Of course, I did not do that. Of course, I went and read the instructions after the point. But basically, I am watercoloring on solid black cardstock with these gorgeous watercolors. Now, these are not your average everyday watercolors. These are like a shiny, shimmery watercolor. So they go great on solid cardstock because they kind of like cover it with this gorgeous shiny look. Now, right now, as you see me painting, you're not going to see the colors all of that well. I'm just going to tell you that in advance. It is kind of, as I finish this and I pick it up, you will see all of the gorgeous color. I did find that the more water you have on your brush when you use these, the more diluted the shimmer will be. Now, obviously that's the case for any pigment. The more water you apply, the less pigment you have. So just keep that in mind. I also found that layering these watercolors worked really, really well. So I went and put down an initial layer over everything. And then I went back and added a little bit of shading and was able to layer a second layer right over the top. I really loved using this watercolor on this black cardstock, and here you can see I zoomed in for you because I could tell in the video that you really could not see the color all that well as I was painting, and that was really bumming me out because in real life it is gorgeous, and you will see when I finish this and hold it up to the light and kind of tilt it, you're going to catch all that glimmer and shine that this lays down, and it is incredible. I absolutely love how this card turned out. It's probably my favorite Halloween card I've ever made, if I'm going to be really honest with you. I think because it just kind of got that like spooky, fun feel, but not scary. And so it turned out fantastic. So for the stamp set, Spooky Sightings, there are all kinds of images that are beyond adorable in this stamp set. It does not have any dies that coordinate with it, just so you know. But the like the main pumpkin with the hat is pretty easy to fussy cut, and you will see a future video of me using that. And then in addition to that, there's these cute little spiders that are in the stamp set that I'm going to use today. And it's just it's just really good. It's a really good stamp set. So if you need something that's fall meets Halloween, this is the stamp set for you, because you can really get away with making that pumpkin very fallish, and it also kind of lends itself to Halloween, but not in an extreme way, which I know some people just aren't huge fans of Halloween, and that's okay. I totally get it. I do not like super scary stuff myself, so I totally understand. Okay, so the new release from the Rabbit Hole Designs that is available starting today has a lot of really cute stuff in it. So I'm going to link below the video over to my blog, and that will have links for all of the products that I used today from the Rabbit Hole and my Stampin' Up! Products. I'll also have a link to these LUVLY watercolors, because you can purchase them right from her site, and they are gorgeous. And yeah, there's lots of fun stuff to be had today. Brand new fun things. This whole design team thing, let's talk about that. You know, I'm new to, look at this. Look at this. Do you see the shine and shimmer? How gorgeous is that? Sorry, my camera is having a hard time focusing now. But isn't that gorgeous? So I did both sides, same way. And then I heat embossed these little spiders on here, and then we're going to grab a sentiment from another stamp set, because this stamp set doesn't have a sentiment with it. So I used a Stampin' Up! Sentiment to finish this card, and then we're just going to do some fun decorative stuff to bring everything together. And then I have another sample to show you at the end of this video using coloring on solid cardstock. But I have a whole video for you on how to do that card. And I decided to keep it separate from this video. I'm not really even sure why. I just thought it would be fun to give that video its time in the sunshine, because I do have something special to share with you in that video. So stay tuned for that one. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek at the end of this one. Okay, so excuse me, going back to what we're doing here, and you know, the design team stuff, I have to just say it's going really well. At least I think so. I sure hope Marianne thinks so. I am learning the process of being on a design team. Marianne has been super gracious with me in my learning curve, because obviously I've never been on a design team before. And there's rules, there's things you have to do. There's kind of a lot of steps in regards to like making sure you share your pictures, making sure you edit them a certain way. And if you guys are interested in learning more about design teamwork and being on design teams and stuff like that, drop me in the comment below the video, because I could certainly share the things I've learned. I would be happy to do that. Okay, so here I decided that I wanted a little more interest on this card. So I took a lot of water and got that nice and saturated, and I just put a bunch on my brush, and then I flicked all over this background. And I feel like that was exactly what this card needed. It just needed a little bit of funk and spunk added, and I really got that a lot with doing this technique. And then I went ahead and flicked my brush, which is going to give me even like a finer mist over the top. And I just love it. And then we're going to do our sentiment. So anyway, back to design team. I just really loving it. It's really fun. It's super different than anything I've ever done. I've never worked on a design team, as I said. So there's definitely a learning curve. By the way, this is the Bag of Bones stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm going to use the Happy Halloween sentiment, which I feel like paired really well with the gorgeousness of the flowers. And I've told you in previous videos, I usually don't make a lot of Halloween cards, but I always make them for a small few that I like to send Halloween cards to. So I'm stamping my sentiment in Versamark, heat setting it in that white embossing powder again. And then I'm going to flick some little splatters on the sentiment area, and then I'll be able to finish this card off. So yeah, really fun. The design team, learning a lot about how things work when you're working for another company. I am still a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I know people ask me that a lot. Yes, I am. But it is totally okay and totally legal to be on design teams with other companies. That's not a big deal at all. So here I decided to fold my cardstock in half, and I didn't mention this earlier. This is a corner chomper. This might be one of my oldest tools in my craft room. For years and years and years and years, I used this tool for my scrapbooking, and it's been with me for probably 15 years. And I love it. And I don't know why I don't use it more often. You know, it used to be really popular to corner round your cards, and it just kind of is one of those things that, I don't know, became unpopular. But I thought it looked really nice for this card, so I went ahead and did that. And that finishes this card, other than adding some gems and rhinestones, which are from the rabbit hole as well. And so I'm using my crystal katana to pick them up. You guys know I love this new tool, and I love the Rabbit Hole Designs little container that you see with my sequins now, because it has that little pour spout, so I can just pour all the sequins right back into their original container, and I never spill them anymore. They're not all over my desk anymore. I'm not trying to pick through them in a bag. It is fabulous. So if you want to get any of the products that you've seen here today, I do have links over on my blog for all of them. Okay, now this is the finished card. Do you see all that shimmer and shine? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm telling you, in person, it is beautiful. I am telling you. And then I have the other card I want to sneak peek you really quick. You'll see this card over on my blog today. This was done with colored pencil on crumb cake, and I will have a whole separate video showing you how to make that card. If you need any of the products from me that you saw today, you can get them over on my blog. And if you have any questions for me, you can always drop them in the comments below. I love talking with you and hearing how things are going with you. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.